I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and I've been trying to kind of boil things down a little bit just for me, and like, how am I actually feeling right now in this country with everything that's going on? And it's like it's super easy. It's super easy to make content just calling people out as being idiots, and calling Trump out for being an idiot, and calling Kristi Noem out for being an idiot, and calling Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, and Pete Hegseth out for being idiots. And this whole administration it's stacked with idiots, and like 95% of them are white men who aren't qualified for the positions that they have, but yet they're calling it a meritocracy, but they are doing Elon. I mean, they're doing incredibly dangerous and incredibly harmful things that are hurting people. And it's like the attacks on the LGBTQ community, and completely ridding the executive branch and all federal agencies of DEI and all references to black and brown people and women, and kidnapping people, and with no due process sending them to the worst prison in the Western Hemisphere, where they could end up rotting for the rest of their lives, having never committed a crime. They're doing incredibly harmful things, as dumb and stupid and incompetent as they are. And it's like we see these things every day, and I mean, for me, it's like when it comes to like making content on this app, it's just becoming so repetitive, because it's the same thing every day. It's the same thing every day.
A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. Welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel. And this is where we have the toughest conversations. This is where we talk the matters that other people are afraid of talking about them. And maybe, it's not every day you hear a white, straight, able-bodied man in America said, "I'm scared." But that's exactly what we are witnessing today. For the first time in his life, despite growing up in a comfort, privilege, and when he calls a segregated cocoon, this man admits he's never felt such fear for the country. Not during the wars, not during economic clashes, not during protests, but right now. And let's be clear, this is not fear of change. It's the fear of something deeper is breaking. In his own words, the country is unraveling. The systems he once believed would hold America together, failing. The leadership, dangerous. And the belief that things will work out is already gone. So, how did we all get here? Well, buckle up, because today we are reacting to the confessions of not just one man, but the pulse of a nation. Black Americans, immigrants, the LGBTQ individuals, disabled families, veterans, women, even foreign onlookers, they are all saying the same thing. Something is broken. Something is wrong. Something that everyone is scared of. So stay with me, because this video is not just a reaction. It's a mirror, and we need to look into it. So consider subscribing and let us get into this.
The specifics might be a little bit different, but it's the same thing every day. And it's wearing on me. And, you know, I mean, it's like I've been talking about that a lot with some of my friends, and you know, today was just I kind of had this realization on the plane when I was coming back from Vegas. Um, and again, I mean, I'll preface this by saying, you know, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, pretty much in rural Ohio, in an incredibly uh, segregated circumstances. You know, I didn't have real opportunities to meet people who didn't look like me, and form friendships with people who didn't look like me until I was in college. Uh, and you know, I have all kinds of privileges in this country, and have had for my entire life. Uh, and but you know, for me, coming from that place, um, you know, the last several months, and specifically the last 3 months, are the first time in my life that I can remember, you know, not necessarily being able to just believe that everything's going to be okay. Eventually, everything's going to be okay. You know, it's not just some 4-year long cycle of a president who, you know, I don't like his taxation policy or something. I mean, these people, they're hurting people, and they're killing people. People who can't fight back for themselves. And again, it's like, you know, part of my brain is like, are you unfamiliar with the last 400 years? You know, but I'll fully and completely acknowledge that it's the first time in my life that it feels like that this is stuff that's finally actually going to impact me negatively. And I mean, there's so much to unpack there, you know. You know, and I was thinking again, you know, sitting on a plane thinking, you know, I was absolutely not raised to be racist in any way, shape, or form, but that doesn't mean that I was raised to be anti-racist. You know, and I know I've got blind spots when it comes to racism, misogyny, and things like that, even if there's no like intent, you know. There's stuff that just doesn't dawn on me because of my life experiences. And again, it's like that's one of the reasons why I treasure TikTok, because I can learn so much about the lives and life experiences of people in the United States who don't look like me, and learn from them. And as I say to my followers quite frequently, I can do all of those things without diving into their comments and acting like a white person. You can listen and you can learn and you can expand your understanding. But this is the first time in my life that I've ever felt, well, let me phrase it this way. This is the first time in my life that I haven't felt like eventually everything's going to be okay. Eventually it's going to work out because we'll elect another president or whatever. it's the first time I think that I have felt like legitimate fear for this country. And we're not even 4 months in. You know, it'll be 4 months this week, 4 months tomorrow, I think. 4 months. This country is this country, taking into consideration its obvious flaws and what it was constructed upon, but it has existed for 249 years. And Donald Trump has been able to pretty effectively dismantle a huge portion of it in 4 months. That's not even a full NFL season. 4 months. And driven largely by racism, misogyny, bigotry, homophobia, and transphobia. That's the driving force between so many of his policies. And then you just add the oligarchic kleptocracy on top of it and self-enrichment. He does all that racist, cultural, transphobic bullshit just to make his base happy. The only thing he cares about is making money. And I don't know that we're going to be okay. I don't know that we're going to make it through this. And that frightens me.
Now, good people, let us talk about the fear, because it's not new. For some, it's a new feeling, but for others, it's generations old. A black woman in the South said she's afraid again because she's seen what this kind of leadership unleashes in America. She says that this fear, this isn't new to us. It's what we've always lived with. Another comment comes from a queer parent who say they're terrified for their children, their grandchildren, and everyone they love. They describe the last decade as madness and they're exhausted. Then there is a 72-year-old mother of an autistic son. She got scared for herself. She's scared to die because she doesn't know who will take care of her son uh, in the new America. And it's not just the marginalized. An 80-year-old white woman says she's tired of being angry every day. A man born in Germany who lived in US for 10 years is moving back to Europe with his American wife. Why? He says it feels like the stories his grandfather told about Nazi Germany. A woman remembers being scared during the Cuban Missile Crisis, but says the insanity today has lasted longer than any war scare. And through all these voices, there is a pattern. People feel unsafe, people feel betrayed, people feel like the country is just disappearing. So whether you blame Trump or the system or white supremacy or corruption or the voters who chose wrong, the fear is real. This is not a fallacy. And here's the thing, guys. When the most privileged people in the country start expressing fear, it means the cracks in the foundation are finally visible to everyone. And that's what makes this moment so dangerous, maybe, just maybe, so powerful. And as I come to the end of this video, I want you guys to stay focused and listen. So let's ask the hard question. Is America collapsing? Or are we finally facing our truths? Because this is not just about a bad president or a rigged election. This is about decades, centuries of unresolved injustice. And it's boiling over and over and over again. There is a man who said, I grew up believing in this country that no matter what would be okay. But now I don't believe that anymore. Of course, that's not weakness, that's awareness. That's finally seeing what many in this country have seen all along, the people of my color. And the America that enslaved people, erased natives, demonized immigrants, silenced queer voices, and suppressed women is the same America that people are living in. It just took a spotlight for everyone to see it. And now people are seeing it and seeing it very clearly. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. But here's the twist. This fear, it's not the end. Fear is a warning, but it's also a chance to ask what kind of a nation do Americans want? Who do they want to protect? Who do they want to empower? Because the truth is, democracy is not a guarantee. Rights aren't permanent. Freedom must be fought for in every generation. Bernie Sanders, a man who's lived through wars and protests and political assassination, said that 2025 is the scary time of his life. That should tell you everything. And yet, this moment could be even be the beginning of something better if Americans choose it. And if they decide that diversity is not a threat, it's a strength. If they decide that truth matters more than party lines, if they decide that fear should lead to action, not silence. And to the white man who finally understands fear, welcome to the club, bro. To the black mothers, the immigrant fathers, the poor, the forgotten, who've known this fear forever. Of course, we hear you. And to everyone watching this video, don't run away. Don't turn away. Don't scroll past. Share your truth, raise your voice, vote with intention, protect each other. Because if enough of us speak up, if enough of us care, America doesn't have to fall apart. It can rise and rise and rise. It can heal and heal and heal. And it can finally become what it was promised to be. But only if everyone shows up. Until next time, guys, stay aware, stay strong, stay human, stay awakened. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this comment. Share this content. Tell me what you think in the comments. Peace out.